Yo, yo, yo.
What's up?
Yes,
Y'all can hear me. Y'all can hear me well, right?
featuring Shannon, the good
All right.
brother, Mr. Rob, and Zane. Today we have a wonderful show for y'all. We're expecting OC MC extraordinaire to join us shortly. We're also going to talk about a couple of topics really quick while we're waiting for OC to join us. But before we get into our topics, just a quick check-in with you brothers to see what you've been up to for this week so far. Rob, what's up? What's good? What you been up to?
Nah, man, I got some big things happening, man. I gonna put too much out there, but I might be changing locations a little bit.
Nice.
So
Congratulations.
there's a whole process with that going on. So that and nah, just doing family stuff, man. I'm a family man now, son.
Mm. What's good with you, Zane? What you been up to?
Still trying to stay in shape, trying to shed off about a good 5 pounds or so.
That's right, bro.
5
Yeah.
What you been doing? You been running? You been what? Eating different? What?
I've been eating different. I've been running, doing the mountain bike, not the 10 speed, the mountain bike. Doing the mountain bike. And I actually I started like doing dinner a lot earlier.
Right.
But I've been then there's actually like every other day I just keep it as like one meal, and I do it like towards like the middle of the day,
Right.
because
You
my
should-
stomach is real, like, it gets real queasy, man. And I don't know if it's just the actual, because I mean I love fried food, but I can't do that as much as I used to anymore. I probably do fried food maybe like once a week now.
you should try to eat before the sun go down, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Diet is exercise. Exercise is important. The diet is important, but the other key thing is making sure that you eat, at a decent
Yeah.
time. So I see
Yeah.
OC just
Yo.
literally.
Yo,
How are you?
Ah, man, the good
What's
bro.
good,
What's up?
man?
Peace. What's up, OC?
Man, we want to
Peace.
welcome
What's
you
going
to
on,
No Ideas
fellas?
Original podcast,
Cool.
man. It's
What's
great to
good?
have you.
Everything's good. I'm glad to be here.
Thank you. So let's get right into it, man. Who and what
Hmm.
inspired you to get into music?
Wow. You want the long version or the short version? How much time we got?
What,
Oh,
it's
brother.
your story,
It's
brother.
up to you. Yeah, it's
Nah.
up to you. Yeah.
Nah, basically, my mom's was a singer, so um, I guess from her belly till I was born, and being around the house, listening to music, listening to records,
Right.
going to the studio a few times with her. I can recall. I don't remember no solid studio sessions, but
Right.
I remember going to the studio with her. And plus I grew up as a kid in Bushwick, so I seen block parties, and I've
Right.
seen the Disco Twins bring out equipment in Bed-Stuy and stuff like that. I was there. You know what I'm saying? Like from a kid. So
Okay.
that's what made me get into it. Yeah.
Nice. Yo, I recently seen you do a NPR set on National Public Radio. Talk
Right.
about that set you did there. That was the dope set y'all did, man, with your hits.
Oh man, I didn't know about NPR until March put me onto it.
Right.
I was really honestly, I was really oblivious to it, and people's like, yo, it's a big, like, that's a big format. Like, you ain't know about NPR, and I was like, nah. But anyway,
It was a
um,
dope set.
yeah, that's invite only. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't ask to be on there.
That's what's
And I
up.
was humbled again. I was humbled because the young lady who invited me on, she worked my third album. So, you hear horror stories about people working for artists or working at labels and artists being assholes to them and stuff like that.
Right.
So fast forward, I just asked her. Her name is Abby. I was like, "Was I ever an asshole to you?" She was like, "Never." That's why you on this show right now.
That's what's up. That was what's
See,
up,
like,
man.
you was one of my favorite, and that's why you on NPR. And it's invite only, and nobody can't ask to be on there. So I was honored to be on there.
Yo, son, your lyrics is timeless, man. And one of my
Thank
favorites
you.
is Time's Up. And what I
Thank you,
like about
man.
Time's Up and about that type of hip hop is that the samples people use for a song, and that sample
Right.
used, Times Limited, No Hard Rocks too, yo, that had me gassed. I felt like if any bully fuck with me, I'll fuck somebody up when I hear that song. and on top of that, even was your hook, Rappers Are in Danger. That was a dope song. But that song, was that song originally for Pharaoh?
Yeah, that was this guy this producer named Prestige. He did a joint called Point of Views on my first album.
Right.
He was a Pharaoh's. I hope he don't get mad at this. This is how he was back then, but he was a Pharaoh's stan. I mean, it was nothing Pharaoh did that he didn't like. So he brought a tape over with that sample. Right. And gave it to March, and it was basically like I put my hand out, he went past me and went to March. So I was like, damn, this must be hot. Shit. I heard the joint and I was like, oh shit, like
it is hot.
Right. It's different. So I waited a few weeks like a peasant in the background. You know, I wasn't on yet, and I was like, yo, what you gonna do with that beat? Now he like 2 weeks later, he like, what beat? I was like, beat Ning Ning gave you. He like, nigga, when? I was like 2 weeks ago. He was like, which one? I don't know. I said, that's it right there. That's the name on the top of the CD. I've been peeping shit for 2 weeks in your crib. That's it.
That's it.
He was like, he started laughing. He was like, put it on. He's like, I don't know. I might mess with it. Another month passed. I just went to the crib one day. He like, yo, I'm gonna go shave. I was just like,
it's crazy.
Cause yo, niggas gave March beats all day, every day. Like they was just like past me, like nobody would. So it was just like, yo, he get a million beats. So anyway, you know, that ended up being my song. But I asked Buck what the sample was when I got a deal a year later. And he knew what the sample was, and we hooked it up, and it is what it is.
Timeless.
Made history. Right.
Timeless.
Word.
Growing up, who was some of your musical influence, whether R&B and hip hop?
Do we have more time than less time? What?
Take your time. Take your time.
Much time you need, brother.
R&B, man. Like, I mean, all the 70s catalog I've listened to literally with my parents. Like, yeah, I know, like sitting around your pops, your moms, got friends, family over, card games going, beer on the table, kids running around, and somebody got to change the records.
That's right.
That was me. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes. So, or just being in the house, yo, as a kid, I was inquisitive. So I would sit in front of the 45s and just look at the names. If I wasn't familiar with it, I play it. So I learned a lot of names and who produced what. You know, just looking at the 45s, even the 33 LP joints too, and that's how everything was flowing from me.
And it's funny saying you asked him R&B, because when you listen to his cadence, it's so rhythmic. All his joints are rhythmic, like but he's actually talking it out. Let's go.
Yeah. The first
exactly, yo, real quick, it's a secret to a lot of dudes. Biggie was so incredible because his Caribbean cadence. That Caribbean cadence, yo, I done bit, chopped, screwed, listen to Caribbean music, Jamaican music all my life as well. So a lot of that stuff taught me how to be rhythmic.
That's right.
So the first track I heard you on was Fudge Pudge by Organized Confusion. Where'd the connection come from with you and Organized Confusion, and how'd you end up hooking up with MC Search and signing a Wild Pitch?
Well, you know, when I moved to Queens, Southside Jamaica, Queens from Bushwick when I was a kid, I moved on the block that was occupied by Pharaoh, a few other people. You know what I'm saying? He was a few years older than me, but you know, we clicked up. You know, we used to play ball together, play baseball, basketball. And fast forward, man, like he introduced me to Poe. Him and Poe went to high school together. And I don't even remember the day I said, yo, I'm gonna hang out with y'all. We clicked ever since I moved to Queens. You know what I'm saying? It was probably a year or two after that. You know, we started playing together. Then things, you know, as we became older teenagers, we started talking about the music. They was in high school already. I was like a couple of grades below them. And like I said, he introduced me to Prince. Now fast forward, you know, the whole organized thing and meeting people and meeting Lord Finesse and meeting Buck and those guys and MC Search was from being on the very first Source tour. I went on the very first Source tour with Pharaoh and Prince. And that's how everything just snowballed from there.
That's right. That's right.
Now,
That's right.
let me ask, MC Search was working with you and Nas at one point. Does MC Search have just that good of an ear, or is he just happened to be a person who was in the right place at the right time?
Nah, Search has an ear. You know what I'm saying? Contrary to what people think about that white boy shit. You know, I think the average white band had hit records black people was dancing to back in the day, so they didn't know he was white.
Yeah.
But Search is Search from Far Rockaway. You know what I'm saying? He grew up around niggas all his life. So, you know, he got an ear.
Yeah. And there was a rumor that Nas was supposed to be on Word Life, but never made it to the session. That's true?
Yeah, that's definitely true. Yeah.
Crazy. That's crazy, man. And then on that same tour, you said you ran into Finesse and Buck. Your first album was done. Did Buck do the whole entire album?
Buck, my man OG, he's down with DITC, of course.
Right.
Prince, March, and Search. That was and Lord Finesse. That was the, you know, producers for that first album. Nobody wanted to fuck with me on the first album, besides, you know, outside of them.
But I know the God A fuck with you, AG, son, and I love the joint y'all did. Supreme Oasis, I believe it is. No, Oasis. As a matter of fact.
Oasis. Yep.
How was it working with A? A is my big brother, so you know he's the reason why I even read books to this day, man. He's crazy. He'll have you going somewhere when you get in a conversation with him. So how was it working with him on Oasis?
A's a genius, man. Like literally, like dude IQ somewhere else, and I don't say that like on some bullshit. Like he's really a genius. You know.
Yes, sir.
AG's a genius for real. Like it's shit that I used to get upset with because I was saying wrong information and he had the right information. We used to argue. You know what I'm saying? Like dude knows his shit.
Yeah, that album was dope, man. Supreme Squad, 2 for the Money. That was classic hip hop. Yeah. I just love the boom bap and that, and y'all going back and forth for that. God bless y'all for making that album, man. For real.
Nah, that's like that's something that I think me and Abe been wanting to do, and you know we did that song called Weed and Drinks on my third album, Bon Appetit, and I mean we crew members, so we already know we got chemistry. But when we did Weed and Drinks on that album, it was like, oh shit. You know what I mean? Like, we got something, but then we waited like 10, 15 years to do Oasis, you know? So, but we got it done. That's all that counts.
Yo, it takes time for great shit to merge, man. And you also did a great project with Ray West and Ray's Cafe. That right there, I can listen to that in the morning, smoke a spliff, and listen to that whole shit in the morning.
Yeah. Nah, that's mood music right there. Like, I try to explain to people that's mood music. You just can't, if you ain't a music enthusiast, you shouldn't be listening to that.
Yes, son. And I was learning on that. He said Malakuti? What the fuck is a Malakuti? Got me popping, son.
Rest in peace to Big L. What did Big L mean to DITC? We know what he meant to hip hop, but what did Big L mean to DITC?
Big L was a vital piece of DITC. I think we would have had a gold record had he been alive, because he just had something like, dude, like, how can I explain it? He just had something different. Maybe because he was a few years younger than us, like his progression was so it was ill, from Lifestyles of the Poor and Dangerous to Ebonics. If you listen to those two projects, it's night and day. Like, he found his pocket on Ebonics. But if you listen to Lifestyles of the Poor and Dangerous, it was a, so to speak, I could rhyme my ass off album. But dude was gonna be a star. You know, that was his thing. He was looking for stardom. And I think this is the last time I'm gonna say this, but you know, I tell people, y'all probably wouldn't like him 20 years later, because he was looking for what Jay-Z and all those guys who's on a different plateau, he was looking for that. He was looking for what Joe has right now. Like, he was looking for that. So I don't know, you know, if a lot of y'all would have rocked with him behind that shit, because y'all so used to him being, you know, this battle rap spit, you know, but he was looking for stardom.
Yeah. I remember the first time I heard Big L was on, I think, the Yes You May remix, Lord Finesse. The first time I heard him, I was like, yo, this dude crazy. Then I would hear him on Stretching Barbito. Then he had the Devil's Son joint, and everything that he was putting out. You knew, like, we knew that this dude he got lyrics, and this dude is gonna be a star. I agree with you. His first album, it was just him just spitting, going crazy. But you know, he did evolve as a rapper, and it's a shame that he's still not alive, because I do think that he had the potential to be where they're at.
Yes, son. At the time, he was past Jay on that Barbito. He was rocking better than Jay on that joint, son. That shit was hard.
Now, no, people don't realize they battled on L's block. Him and Jay battled.
Wow.
You know, you have to get the specifics from Dame, but they battled, and it was, you know, even. Like, they had to stop. Niggas had to be like, nobody going home tonight. They kept, from what I understand, they was going at each other, and you know, that's how they became friends and respected each other. Because I don't know what niggas thought, but L would battle in a heartbeat, and he had rounds for days. Like, he memorized every book probably in his crib, and I haven't been in his crib, but I've seen books. You know what I'm saying? He probably memorized every rhyme he ever wrote. That's not normal.
Yeah, Zane.
Can you tell us the when you did your first album, Word Life? I believe you didn't have any features on that. Now, was that something that that you wanted to do, or that was something that the label, I guess, you know, pressured you to do?
It was something I wanted to do. I was a little bitter, man, at a lot of my peers early on, because I felt like niggas felt like I had more to prove, or something, like, or I didn't deserve to have a record deal. And you know, I'm cool with quite a few people today, but you know, few producers, like I said, would not. They didn't believe in OC. Like, they didn't believe in what I was capable of. And you know, I told Planet Asia this one day, and I think he misunderstood me.
Shout out
I told PA that I told him that the record industry made a lot of niggas envy Nas when we was all coming up, because of the attention that he got. You know, it was a lot of other dope artists, but we all know that the industry picks and chooses who the golden childs are gonna be. It's just how it is. And I said it to PA, and I said envy, but I don't. I think he misunderstood me. I know he's an intelligent dude, but I know the phone got quiet for a second, like envy. Like that, that can sound like jealousy or some shit, but it wasn't. It was just the from what I seen early on, the music business basically picked and chose who they fight was gonna go. And that's just how it was.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I gotta respect Jay because he fought through all that shit. Yo, he worked harder than all of us. Jay worked harder than all of us. That's why he's where he's at. And I seen it, and I've seen other guys work just as hard as me, and I know why they are where they are. You know what I'm saying?
Why is it though that the entertainment industry is like that? Because I think about, like, even for, when you start talking about comedians in Hollywood, it always seems like it only could be one big comedian at a time that's popping. You'll have like other people, they'll have their little light, but right now, like Kevin Hart is the go-to dude. But you have all these other people that are just as good or just as brilliant as artists, but for some reason we box people in and be like, they can only be one.
Yeah, nah, that's just, I was just about to say that. Hollywood basically runs everything, all the way down to the music industry. You know what I'm saying? And I say all that to say, most shit go into Hollywood movies, like music and soundtracks and stuff like that, and background music. So Hollywood is the pulse to everything. You know what I'm saying? But I know, being specifically in the music industry, the music part of the entertainment, they pick and choose who their golden child's gonna be.
Yeah. When you made Constable, did you think that 26 years later we would still be having this same conversation?
Hell yeah.
I knew you would say that.
Y'all know. You already know, man. Hell yeah. Like, this shit ain't going to wait. It's not, yo. Honestly, you try not to make people feel like it's never going to end, but this shit might take a turn for the worse, man. And I'm not saying that because I wanted to. Like, this is something different. This is something different than the 60s. This is something different, man. This is something different. A economy downturn, some racially fueled shit, and a pandemic all at the same time.
Yeah.
A trifecta like that, man, is a recipe for disaster. And people think we got past the worst of it. And I'm just like, I'm an optimist, man, and and a realist. I'm like, nah, this shit is just getting started. Y'all better keep storing your waters, and I don't care if you got 200 cases of water. This shit might not still be enough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. For those that's in the chat, also, if you got a comment for OC, put your comment or your question in the chat, and we'll ask it for you. Yeah, Rob.
And I'm glad we brought up an issue such as what's going on in the world. What's your stance on how you feel about mental health? And how can it improve us as black men and learning how to let go of shit?
First of all, we all need therapy. We all need therapy. That's where the reparations coming at, man. Mm-hmm. That's where the reparations coming at. Yo, they fucked this up. And can I curse? It's cool.
Yeah. Speak your mind, yo.
Yo, they fucked this up, man. Like, post-traumatic stress disorder without going to war, on a battlefield, like in an actual war zone, and we got post-traumatic stress disorder. You know what I'm saying? And some kids, they never leave their home and have that shit. Black kids of color. You think about how deep-rooted that shit is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That shit is deep, man.
Yeah, we talk about it a lot on this podcast about how everything that's going on is systemic, and now there's a lot of talk about Black Lives Matter, but I don't know if the action is actually matching up to the talk. So you mentioned one thing in terms of the therapy is reparations. Is there something else that we need at this point in time, but that we should take, or that we should take at this point in time?
At this point in time, it's fight or die. And I don't even know what that means to a degree, because when you facing death, it's a whole different ball game.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, we shouldn't have to, we built this country. How about that shit?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's right.
We built this country, man. And, you know, we still treat it, like Farrakhan said, it's over 600 years, not 400 years. Like, they left out 200 years on purpose. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's a lot of shit like that that I'm looking up now, and I'm like, damn, like, oh shit, like this was this way back. Yo, just a lot of shit that's really like blowing my mind, and I'm just like, well, I'm actually not surprised, man. Like, we the most looked at enemy on the face of the earth, man. Black men. That's crazy to me.
And we're the most resilient too. And I say this on the show all the time, man. We need to leave these motherfuckers alone and take care of ourselves. That's it. Hey, mind our business. That's all we gotta do, son. And that's how I feel about that. Man.
That's that. And basically, everybody who who our color ain't our brothers. You know what I'm saying? And that shit needs to those ops need to be eliminated as well. If you ain't on board, fuck out the way. You know what I'm saying? It's just, yo, we at a stage in the game, man, where it's fight or flight. And I'm not, where we running to? We ain't going back to Africa.
Facts. Yeah.
You had to square up right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's, you know, like I said, that's hard. That's a hard pill to swallow, to stand in front of a tank and machine guns and missiles and shit and say, I'm ready to die. Like, you know, I'm not no Superman. But yo, this is the choices and circumstances they gave us, man, at this point. Like, what are we gonna do?
Right.
Yeah. So there's a question from the chat. It says, do you think enough people in the industry are helping with the cause, or are they worried about their brand?
Some were definitely worried about their brand. But like I said, man, we don't run this shit. I mean, we definitely supply the dope, you know, meaning the music and the movies and the actors and the writers and the cameramen and all facets of this shit. But they still will give us a piece, man. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's tough. It's definitely tough. Yeah, question.
I take that shit at this point.
Right. Yoke that. Give me my shit, yo. Fuck out of here. Let me ask you, you guys, you know, unfortunate loss of L, but talk about the impact of Party Artie too. He was a member of the Digging of the Crates.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Artie was you have to get this information directly from Finesse, but I think PA was going over the G Unit.
Word? Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. He was in talks with 50. 50 was feeling him, you know. And
Nasty too,
like I said, I believe Ness has something to do with that or was involved with the talks about that. But yeah, yo, he was to me, he was a star. PA was a star.
Yeah.
He just had that, to me, he had that Method Man out the crew with us.
Yeah.
Like, he reminded me of, he had that star power in Digging. You know what I'm saying? He could have carried the whole crew.
Yeah, I remember a story with him and A, and I don't know what I was doing with these guys. He's like, yo, Master, you can write. Pick up a pen. You can write. I'm like, I can't write. Y'all niggas is writing too much shit, man. The guy, I remember 80, man, was a humble dude, man. Could talk to anybody off the street. Real classy guy.
Yeah, he gave Murder Mook. I don't care what nobody said. He gave Murder Mook that work in that smack battle too.
Yeah.
Yeah, Zane.
Nah, he definitely did. He definitely did.
Right. He did. But that's why Mook is the gladiator that he is. And I was just talking about Mook the other day. Right. I said, yo, he's the epitome of what L is or what L was on some battle shit.
Yeah, I can see that.
What you see in Mook, I'm not saying Mook is L. I'm just saying it's something in the water in Harlem or something.
Yeah.
But you know, Mook got something that I seen in L, and that's why he's extraordinary when it comes to how he puts his shit together.
Right. That's right.
Can you tell us about the art of freestyling? I know it's very cliche nowadays where an artist can get on the radio or an artist could be out at a venue and they on stage and they saying a freestyle, but then you hearing stuff from like, eons ago. Can you tell me like who were some of the people that you consider to be true artists that could freestyle off the dome?
I know the answer.
Oh man. Me personally, I ain't know too many people like the only person I knew true to doing a freestyle was Eminem, and I've seen it for myself. Like I seen him get busy in New York before he blew. Like, and first of all, let me explain something. I mean, y'all know this already, but I never freestyle. Anything that I said was written. So we used to call them writtens. Mm-hmm. So if they pop up on my album, you like, this nigga ain't no freestyle. That nigga was fronting. That shit is on number 7. Like, and we seen this time and time again. You know what I'm saying? Like, and freestyle is something you do freely off your head, whatever comes to your mind, whatever you think about, whatever you look at with a person or whatever's in front of you, that's freestyling, just grabbing from the sky, but me, I just never really. Eminem was probably the closest thing I seen to freestyling at its purest form, up close.
And Time's Up was used in 8 Mile, right?
Right. And what's that?
No, I said Time's Up was used in the movie 8 Mile, right?
Definitely. That was one of his favorite. Well, out of a lot of hip hop records, that was one of his favorite records, and that's why I used it. But dude did freestyle so well. Maybe to this day, you might beg to differ that shit was written or not, because Eminem is a problem with that shit. Like, I never seen that shit done like that.
Yeah. So what led to you?
I don't put him in a top. I'll give him a top 10, but the freestyle shit, yeah, he had that on smash.
Nice. Yeah, Zane.
No, I was saying I know we talked about the Time's Up single that you had on your first album, but that song is like something that a rapper could use that song to battle the whole industry, whether old school to new school, because that song was just pulling it was pulling a lot of people's card. So I believe that song right there was like a pinnacle in hip hop. It was definitely like ahead of its time. I mean, I know it's dope, but from the outside looking in, for you to put that out back in back in what, 94?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
It still rock to this day.
Yeah, but think about what was coming out in 94, like, or in early 90s, man. Like, you had a lot of incredible artists. You had Woo, you had Redman, you had Laws of the Underground, you had Naughty by Nature, you had Cypress Hills, you had Exhibit, you had Funk Doobies, you had Snoop and Dr. Dre, you had the Dog. The list goes on and on. So to me, just personally for me, I believe everybody listened to each other's music and was like, oh shit, that Biggie shit is crazy. I'm going back to the drawing board. and I'm gonna make some shit to bust his ass. Like it was that kind of competition, but it was respectable competition.
It was needed.
Yeah, it was needed. It was
So
dope.
what lets
Definitely
you
was needed.
what lets you leaving Wild Pitch for to go to Payday for your second album? And on your second album, was MC Search involved with that as well?
I mean, it was just my time was up at Wild Pitch, man, and no pun intended. You know, they did what they could. I believe for me, like, you know, them signing to a distributor like Virgin, they could have did better, but you know, I was under Wild Pitch, which was a subsidiary, so you know, I wasn't top priority. But I think shout out to my man Speech from Arrested Development. I think their second album came out after they won like a couple Grammys on the first album with Tennessee and all that. I think times A Word Life did better than their album.
Oh, we lost him. We lost OC.
Hopefully it comes
Yeah,
out.
he'll pop back on. But make sure you like, comment, hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. All right, there you go. He's back. Competition, OG Dash says competition killed true freestyle. You had to be practiced and super nice.
Yeah.
All right, we got you back. Can you hear us?
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
We can hear you. Yeah, I had a question.
So basically, like, right.
Yeah, finish off.
Nah, I just said basically, you know, I was doing numbers without really no promotion. Like I had 2 videos and me. That's it.
Wow. That's different. That's real different. Man, working in the stable, like the camp that you come from, you got Show, Ness, Diamond, Buck. Who do you like working with the most and why?
Definitely me and Buck had chemistry, of course.
Right.
But yo, these last 2 years, see, I was used to people producing me. So that's what I was spoiled with Buck. And I got back to that when me and Show put out Same Moon, Same Sun and New Dawn. I just let Showbiz pick everything. He just gave me music, and yeah, he just gave me the music. I told him, yo, just give me the music. Give me what you want me to be on.
Mm-hmm.
So everything you hearing, he picked. You know what I'm saying? Like I wanted to be produced instead of me trying to do both. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to concentrate on the writing and let someone else just focus on picking the backdrops for me. And
okay,
you know, Show did that.
Show did that. He picked a beautiful selection.
But the natural connection is always going to be Buck.
Buck, right?
Yeah. Can I say it's interesting that question will come up because last night my wife and I we were watching Tamar Braxton's show, and she was working with a producer, and the producer was like, "Okay, what do you have for me? Like, what have you been writing?" And she was like, I didn't write anything. And the guy was saying to her almost like, "All right, so what are you feeling? What mood are you in right now?" And her response to the producer was like, "Well, what do you want? What do you think the people need to hear from me now as a producer? What do you think people want to hear?" And the dude said, "Well, honestly, I don't know." So to me, I'm thinking like, yo, when you have that relationship and you've worked with a producer, or you in the same camp, and they have that ear, they know what people want to hear from you. They know what you sound good on, and y'all just have that natural connection. What did you learn from album 1 to album 2 in terms of making music?
Time flies, so you can't talk about the same shit you talked about on the first album. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Like, you're not the same person like if you listen to somebody's catalog, like their first or second albums, for anybody, it's night and day. If you listen to them, it's night and day, because you know time progresses and changes and moves on so quick. Like, you know, I used to get writer's block, but then I realized that it's me breathing, me having this conversation with y'all, me knocking on this table, me picking up my glasses or whatever. Me, so many. It's just too much shit around for me not to have something to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Right.
you know, writer's block that's something you should be getting before you get a record deal. Like when you coming up in the ranks and you know, you trying your best to be whoever you are in this game and trying to get on. But as a professional, for me at least, I just felt like it's too much shit around me not to have anything to write about. So, you know, I don't know about writer's block. I don't know about how I can't talk about what I've been through or what somebody else been through if we having conversations. Like it's a natural thing because we all human. So it should be millions of things for us to say and even in production, man, like it's a mood. You know what I'm saying? People don't understand that with producers. Like, you know, I've seen Show, Buck, Ness, Diamond, A, in moods in the studio, you know, and I just ain't bothered them because they was in a certain kind of mood and,
Yeah.
you know, and the music reflected it afterwards. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And
Right.
that's what I think me, not to bring those albums up again, but that's what I think me and Show captured with, you know, Same Moon, Same Sun, and New Dawn. And
Mm-hmm.
then all the truth that was going on around those albums, you know, leading up to what's happening today. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
right.
You know,
Right.
songs like Serious, like, you
Mm-hmm.
know, niggas shooting themselves in the face is not normal behavior. Like, that's not normal to shoot yourself in the face. You
Yeah.
know, shit,
Mm-hmm.
we had Faces of Death 30 years ago. Now that shit is normal on other platforms to see
Yeah.
somebody laid out with their head bust open. Like, that's not
Yeah.
normal for me, man.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
That's right.
so, you know, I'm real careful how I put things together and what I say. And if I'm wrong about something after the fact in the album, somebody, you know, sees it and they check me on it, I'm cool with that. It's just a learning process. That's all.
Yeah.
That's right. Yo, and speaking of moods, yo, you gotta let me know, man. And Ray's Cafe, Soul Kitchen, and Lovers. I love the verse you talk about on my way to work. I love that shit, son. I say that shit all the fucking time. Yo, how was it making that album? Because that's a total different mood. I love that fucking album, B.
See, that's what I'm talking about with producers. Ray, that was Ray's idea. But the Ray's Cafe thing came from both of us, from me being in his crib while he was chefing up music in front of me. And he was like, yo, if you write a verse and you get stuck on a certain bar, just leave it. And I was like, all right, you know, cool. Like he didn't have no rules to how he was making that record. And that's why if you listen to the record, there's really you can count the bars, they off, but it's
Yeah, yeah.
on. You
Right, you
know,
just ride it out.
you
You
listen to
just
certain stuff, it's 1 minute, you
yeah.
know, it might be a 1.5 or 2 minute song, like just different, but it was moods. And he was like, yo, wherever you feel comfortable at stopping, even if you home writing, oh, just stop. And let's record it just like that. Let's just do a bunch of records like that. And I'll put them
Yo,
together. And that's what he did.
and I encourage everybody who hasn't listened to it to go listen to it. I remember there's an interview. I think your guys was in Poland, and people. I don't know if they was asking you to state of hip hop, but you mentioned that hip hop got spoiled. We got rotten, especially on the East Coast. And we kind of something about the vibe and the flair was lost. How you feel about the state of hip hop today?
Um, Wow. I don't know, man. Like it's in a Robin Hood stage now. It can be saved. You know what I'm saying? Like for the kind of music that we cut from, you know. But I'm not.
And pardon me for
I'm willing to listen.
Pardon me interrupting. Brothers like yourself, Diamond, Sadat, all of y'all are still making great music, you know. Like every last one of y'all are still making great music, man.
Yeah, I mean, I can only speak for myself. I definitely know, and this ain't no cocky shit. Like I know I ain't lost a step. Like I've gotten better over the years, and that's a rarity.
That's what's up. That's right.
That's a rarity to get better. You either get better and you descend. For me, I do this shit at will. Like, this next album I do is probably my last solo album because it's just that time, and I wanna complete a cipher at 50 next year. But I do this shit at will, man. Like, but it's about that time for me to move to the side and let other dudes do their thing.
Okay. And it seemed like the digging crew, they got a little stable. A Bless, Majestic Cage. There's another kid, David Bars, I think Show was working with. The crate niggas. Some babies.
D-Flow.
D-Flow.
Homie that got murdered, Tashane, he was a monster.
Yeah, son, that hurt me when I heard about that. I think I was looking, I said, yeah. A love him. A love him. It probably reminded
he was gonna go.
Yes, sir.
He was gonna go. Like it was no question about Tashane. He was gonna go.
Right.
Can you tell us about one of your dream collaborations? Whether it's still hip hop or R&B collaboration that you would like to have before your last album, or maybe during your last album.
I mean, it has nothing to do with me doing my last album, but I would definitely try to catch a feature at any given moment with Mary. I think me and Mary will make some crazy shit together.
That'd be sweet.
Mary should have been singing on Far From Home, but Yvette Michelle, she didn't miss a beat on it. I have to say that.
Well,
when I first Far From Home, I was like, man,
Far From Yours.
Sorry about that. Yo, I was like, yo, I ain't miss a beat with this, because you had a joint that was radio friendly, but you still had lyricism in there. Yo, my favorite line is the joint about I gave advice to L. Ron Hubbard to write books on Dianetics. Slick.
Right. See,
crazy.
You only you would know. See, you would know that because we grew up around that time. So our moms and pops had Dianetics books in the crib and L. Ron Hubbard on,
Yeah.
But
crazy.
Yeah. Yo, honestly, I tried to get married on Far From Yours. She cost too much. There was no way my budget would have been stomped out. But actually, I got that wrong. Mary was just busy. So the next thing was Lauryn Hill, but it was costly. It was too costly. She was gonna do it, or she would have did it, but she was too costly. And remember, the Fugees had did like 14 million at that time, so I knew I couldn't afford her. And Yvette Michelle was somebody who was coming up in the ranks, and me and Flex was cool and had a relationship, as far as like just being straight up with each other. And I still had to pay for it, but I didn't have to pay like I would have had to pay for Mary or Lauryn Hill. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So one of the folks in the chat say, do you feel pressure to water yourself down to connect with the younger listeners of hip hop?
Nah, I don't. I make my music for me. I don't make it for no age. Like if to me, I don't talk the things that younger guys talk anymore. But I think music being universal and hip hop being universal, if it's something that they can get into, then it's all good. But I definitely know, my peers like y'all, and like myself, understand what I do. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna always have people supporting me.
That's right, baby. And I'm one of them.
Thank you.
So, why do you think that hip hop is embraced more outside of the States? Like, more people understand the hip hop, the artistry of hip hop abroad than people actually do in the United States now.
Yeah, the broad game is different.
Yeah, we was doing it real early too, and a lot of people wasn't going overseas. They snubbed their nose to that shit at first. But little do they know we was getting a whole bunch of money over there. Like, we could go toe to toe with any group across the UK, across Europe, USSR, wherever. Like, digging individually, we are known. This is what people don't understand. Like, I'm like, yo, I didn't want to be famous. I don't want to be famous. But my work ethic, my work and my music garnered me respect across the planet. Like, people be like, yo, you still making records? I'll be like, nah, I'm walking dogs now. Like, what kind of answers, the questions is that? Like, people believe if you're not on the radio or if you ain't on YouTube,
Right.
that you're not working. And it's just like, nah, it's just a different time. And it's, it's the younger guys' time in the spotlight. That's just how the music industry is. But shit, I think Snoop can't fill a room at the drop of a dime. Matter of fact, we can't even put Snoop in the room.
Yeah.
He could do same shit Sting and them do in the stadium.
Yeah. We have Master
He's
Ace
the most
on.
famous rapper on the planet.
Yeah. When we had Master Ace on, Master Ace was talking about how he said that he'll do shows in the States, and if he won't really get that amount of people, but he said once he go abroad and do a show, he was like, as soon as he step in the door, the promoter be like, yo, sold out, we good to go. He was like, the merch is sold, the fans know the records word for word.
So
You see it, you think about it, you go to other countries, everything that we grew up in the 80s embracing, when you start talking about graffiti, hip hop, DJing,
breakdancing,
breakdancing abroad, that all the artistry of hip hop is went overseas.
They love it, man.
I mean, well, they're doing their drill shit. They doing their drill shit and stuff that's trendy over here, overseas now. But it's just that overseas is just still a new market that traditional hip hop is always going to be embraced. But yeah, just to build on top of what Ace said, I mean, y'all can look up DITC shows in 2018 in Europe. Shit, we standing in front of like 30,000-40,000 people in one show. And we did like a month run. You know what I'm saying? Like, we doing festivals, man. Like, niggas really believe that we on our ass. And I just be like, it's not my business to tell you my finances, if I own a mansion and a yacht and all this other shit.
Yeah.
But I haven't worked a job since 1989, man.
Yeah. And doing what you love too.
Exactly. I'm blessed. Like, I mean, it's ups and downs with this shit, but I wouldn't trade it for the world. And you have to work, like Ace said, the merch and shit don't sell itself, man. You got to go out there and work every night. You know what I mean? And I've seen Ace. I've been on tours. I mean, on tour stops with Ace and Polo and stuff like that. And, see him in passing. Yo, you ain't staying for the show? Nah, we got to go to Istanbul. It's like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
Wow. Let's go. Let's talk about doing the session when the Crate Diggers got together and did that nice little. Is that an EP y'all did? That was dope.
Nah, that was a full album.
Album, okay. Not bad.
Studio sessions, the volume 1 shit. Everybody was in the lab for that. I think Was Diamond there? I think Diamond wasn't there. Was the only one that wasn't there, but Joe was there. You know, A was, you know, A lives overseas, so but he came in, you know what I'm saying? And yo, it felt like when we did the first DITC album, you know, having everybody in the studio together, that's a rare moment. And it was up in the, you know, the new spot when Show built the new DITC studios. So you know what I'm saying? Like we got our own home, we had our own home, and you know, we just had fun doing it, man. Like, you know, it was a momentum though. I think off of the same moon and whatever else, you know, Show puts out projects
here and there,
all the time. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it was just momentum. And while Joe wasn't busy, that was a perfect time. And he was probably one of the ones touting for that shit. Like he was pushing for that for the past maybe 10 years.
Yeah, he was talking about it.
Yeah.
So powerful, man. Love you guys, man. I love you. I love the fact.
Love y'all too, man. I appreciate y'all, man.
Anybody that's doing music from the old, yo, son, I love you guys are still doing it. Because taking nothing away from these younger guys. I love you. But it ain't my cloth, man. I can't wear it, yo. I can't wear it.
I feel you. But this is how I look at it, man. Contrary to us and other people saying old heads and shit like that, I'm like, yo, I ain't no old head. And none of my peers are either.
Right.
Grandmaster Flash still alive. Cool still alive. Grand Wizard Theodore still alive. Melly Mel still alive. Yo, there's so many guys that started this shit that's still alive. And I don't look at them or call them old heads. That's disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? Those are my elders, man. They living legends to me. You know what I'm saying? And I tell niggas all the time too. Yeah. I tell niggas all the time, I ain't no, like, niggas call me a legend. I'm like, yo, my legends is alive. So, you know, I can't even take that shit on yet until they move it to the next, you know, the next astral plane. Like, they still alive. I can't call myself a legend. I know everybody say this shit and call us legends and stuff, but I never look anywhere where you hear me saying I'm a legend. You won't find it.
Yeah.
Right.
That's humility, but you're a legendary lyricist. That's a fact. I
take it. I just won't say it.
Yeah. So, what's your thoughts on streaming now versus physical sales? Is streaming good for the game?
Oh man, it's got a lot of the streaming thing has a lot of kinks in it. You know, ain't nothing like selling physical wax. Like ain't nothing selling physical CDs, physical cassettes. You can count them shits and you can tally them. The streaming thing, I don't know if my statements even reflect, because I look at, for example, you know, other streaming sites, the Y2, you know, the tubes and all that. And I see all these millions of hits, and I don't own these pages, these YouTube pages, but it got 500,000 here, 1 million here, 700,000 here, and this is my body of work. So you talking about hundreds of songs.
Right.
I ain't rich off that shit, and I should be, and everybody else should be too. You know what I'm saying? If that much streaming is going on, I don't think you have to do 70, 100 million gazillion streams to get rich. Like, if the numbers is saying it right there on the screen, I'm like, yo, damn, like this ain't even my YouTube page, and this shit got 1.7 million off a song that came out in 1994.
Yeah. You know what I think it is? I think the recording industry and the labels have figured out like how to really monetize and get the money from streaming, but I don't know if the artists have caught up with it yet. You know, so I think it's probably going to be like a backlog where at some point the artists are really going to audit and be like, yo, wait a minute. You know, like you said, like, yo, this song been streamed 1 million times. Why am I getting, you know, $1,000 off of it? There's far much more money to be made off streams than I think what people are actually letting into, or letting on to, rather.
Yo, hell yeah. It ain't no, I think, or I believe it is. Like, yo, example. Y'all remember when Pharrell put out that record Happy, right?
Yes, sir.
Yo, he got a $50,000 check from that shit. And that record was probably the most played song for that year.
Mm-hmm.
He got like, matter of fact, it was maybe 15,000, not 50. It was maybe like 15,000. And yo, everywhere you turn, you heard Happy, all I want. You heard this shit everywhere. That shit was driving me bananas. I'm like, yo, this dude gotta be his stream game gotta be crazy off of this shit. But he spoke out and said, yo, man, I got like $15,000 from a stream, you know, from residuals off of this shit. No comment.
Yeah, that's crazy because that shit was in
movie. Damn, that's crazy. Yeah, that shit was the biggest record of that year.
Mm-hmm.
It was. They played that shit on.
You know, that was like the what was that stupid ass dance? Oh man, it's Spanish shit.
I didn't know you said about Macarena.
I got it in my head.
Macarena. It was the Macarena.
Macarena shit. Yeah.
Yo, that shit was like the Macarena. And yo, he got $15,000, man. I was like, oh shit. And he spoke up. You know, they try to hush him, but he was like, come on, man, like 15,000.
Well, here's how you could tell that streaming is much more financially lucrative than what people lead on to, right? So people say Napster, you know, hurt the music industry because it hurt the physical sales. But I think when Napster did, people like, yo, there's a way to get money from a digital aspect. So I think the recording industry wanted Napster out because these big labels, they couldn't monetize off of it. They felt like, you know what, if there's money to be made in this, we need to be the ones making the money. Hence all the streaming platforms now pop up. You know, you have these different streaming services that they sell subscriptions, they get ad buys, they get all kind of shit, you know, but yet the rate of a stream is probably, you know, one stream is equivalent to probably less than a penny or some shit like that.
0.0000 point, half a penny point. It's a crazy shit. But yo, remember what they did to DJ Drama though? Remember? They ran the feds ran up the DJ Drama shit. The RIAA banned that shit. You know, you can't do mixtapes now and sell them and stuff like that. Now let's go back. Y'all already remember. The fucking record companies was hiring people to do these mixtapes. And then they turned around and passed the law to say you couldn't do that shit. When niggas like DJ Drama, Clue, you know, DJs from down south who was getting rich off of this shit, they didn't like that shit.
They was breaking new artists, man, with the mixtapes, man.
Yeah.
And they was getting rich at the same time. They was doing personal, you know, DJ Drama was doing the personal mixtapes with Weezy or with Hove or with, you know, whatever. And the RIAA didn't like that shit.
Yeah. So we got another question. Can we get another DITC project?
I know you're holding on to something.
I don't know at this point.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. I think it's not a rap, but I think everybody doing their own thing now.
Okay. So you know what? That tells me when the time is right. When the time is right. So we got another question. Yeah. How is it for artists to be business educated or maybe taking business classes so they can understand how the revenue works?
That shit is very important. I wish somebody hit my coat to that shit when I was young, man. Like a business class. Yo, I tell people this all the time, and it's, you know, people look at me sideways like, yo, I made $1 million in my lifetime already, like probably a few times over. And people be like, and then I let that sink in, let them believe if I'm telling the truth or not. And then I tell them, well, $1 million, $2-3 million ain't a lot of money, especially if you don't know what to do with this shit.
That's right.
Yeah.
You know, if you spending more than you trying to, learn how to invest, then you broke. You know what I'm saying?
The broke mentality.
And people don't understand that exactly. And put it like this: I touched, just for example, I did my second album. I touched close to $250,000 just for a publishing deal.
Nice.
This had nothing to do with shows. This was 1996, 97. This had nothing to do with me doing shows yet. The album wasn't done yet, but I did a deal to do a publishing deal, and that's $250,000 right there. But I wasn't taught how to do my taxes. I wasn't taught how to invest my money. You know what I'm saying? Like, that money's gone as soon as you get it, man. That's only a loan, man. It's a loan from a bank. Music business ain't nothing but a big ass bank.
Yeah.
Right.
So being that if there isn't a class, like, who do you go to? Who's the OGs? Like, who you talk to that show you the way to actually, make sure your money has some longevity?
See, that's where being young has his pros and cons, because as y'all know, we was all their age, 20s, 30s. You know what I'm saying? And it's up to you as a grown man to take it on as your own initiative to seek that advice yourself, especially if you don't have it around you. You have to discipline yourself to ask questions. It's another thing as black men that we don't do is ask questions. It's just like us not going to the doctor. It's us like buying a car before we buy a house. I done made that mistake time and time again. You know what I'm saying? Spending more money than I can take out every night, and then basically, I'm overdrawn and I'm getting charged. Like, just little simple shit like that I was doing, little dumb shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it taught me at 49 to be diligent about my business now, because I still have a chance.
That's right.
I want to go back for a second, because I know we mentioned like the Grandmaster Caz, the Melly Mel's, the Cool Hercs, and things like that. And my father-in-law is working on a hip hop documentary, and it's going to be about breakdancing and just the origin of hip hop. And I had an opportunity to sit in when he was interviewing Cool Herc. And Cool Herc to me is like he's a very he's a very energetic figure. And one of the things I took away from the interview, and it made me really stop and think, and I'm like, damn, like, when hip hop started out, I don't think anybody envisioned that there was this kind of money to be made off of hip hop. So I look back and I look at the forefathers, the dudes who pioneered and created and paved the way for everybody to eat off of. And I'm like,
right.
How come they haven't gotten their cut? Like, why are they not getting the money that all these other people are getting that haven't contributed nearly anything to the culture? So we talking about reparations shit. Maybe we need to think about how we get reparations for the founders of the art, because hip hop has provided a platform for so many people to eat off. And truth be told, not a lot of those people are people of color.
And like Buster said, it's providing a lifestyle for people that don't even love this shit.
Yeah, exactly. And I think Swiss Beats brought that topic up maybe a few months ago.
Oh,
right. You know what I'm saying? I don't think we should give them anything. I think they're old. You know what I'm saying? Let me say that again. I don't think we should give them anything. I think they're old.
Right.
They're old. That gratitude, shit. What would have happened had somebody like Kool Herc not make it to America from the Caribbeans?
Right.
Who knows? You know what I'm saying? Like, it takes one key component to throw a kink in the whole engine. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, I'm not saying he's the key component, but any of those guys from the inception of that whole hip hop thing when it started, if one of them had not crossed paths or been in one another's presence somehow or been across town from each other, we probably wouldn't be having this conversation. So yeah, they're old what's theirs. Like this shit is theirs.
Yeah.
It's ours. It's theirs though. Like, you know, and I told somebody this the other day, man. I said, yo, this shit only turned 47, man, in the music business. Hip hop turned 47. It's young in the music business, but it's a lot older before it became something in the music business because they didn't believe in it at first. It was already there. You know, Blondie brought it downtown. You know, few crackers brought it downtown.
That's right. Studio 54.
You know what I'm saying?
That's it.
Yeah, but I believe Blondie brought it down to CBGBs. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, this is way back when. This is, I think, with Wild Style and all that. Like some of those scenes and shit like that. You know, she was coming uptown, but she was going back downtown talking about this shit. But she wasn't the only one. You know what I'm saying? Malcolm McLaren had a big record, but I'm sure a lot of people didn't realize he was a white boy from the UK.
Yeah, I just, you know, I
Buffalo
think
Gals and all that shit. Come on, man.
Outside.
To give people their flowers, but they can't pay their bills with just getting the flowers. You got William Williamson said, "Peace, OC. Are you still gonna release the Blood Moon LP?"
That's a little. I don't know, man. That for me that it probably come off a little insensitive releasing Blood Moon with what's going on. So I'm gonna just go for a whole nother spectrum, another type.
Wow.
You know, I don't want people to have that, you know, perception of a Blood Moon with all the shit that's happening. Like, you know, even though it means something different for me, but you know, we gotta be sensitive to one another when with certain things. Because you know, we going through it. We all going through it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Say it again. All going through it, yo. God bless you, champ. It's good to see you. You look healthy. You look good, brother.
Yeah, Zane.
Thank you, man.
Zane
I left New York, man. Like I'm out of there. So
big, man. I left New York in 2000 for 7. I lived in Maryland for 17 years. Yeah. I think it was the best thing I did in my life, yo.
So if you mind sharing, where are you located at now, brother?
I'm in the South somewhere.
Okay. Enough. Good living. That's good living. That's good living. Man, how does an artist thrive post-COVID now that shows are shut down?
Man, let me be careful about what I say about this though. Being that most people are home right now, this is probably the most money a lot of artists have. A lot of this is the most money I definitely made just being home sitting on my ass. Like the royalties and stuff like that are bigger because everybody is home.
Right.
You know, so everybody's streaming, everybody's buying stuff online.
Right.
And I can't complain for the moment, but you know, like I said, I have to be sensitive with people, man. Especially our people in general, like not to talk about shit like that because I'm definitely not starving, but you know, I'm seeing a lot of shit going on and you know, people are starving, people getting evicted, man. You know, the eviction thing is about to get way crazy. People don't even understand that shit. So, you know, somebody basically helped me out, man, like at a time when I needed it. So I definitely gotta make sure, you know, not to talk about shit like that. Like I'll just make my presence felt with them and try to help out the best way somebody helped me out.
Nice.
That's right.
Yeah.
Tell us about how you got on the Back to the Grill remix.
Oh, I was signed, you know, me and Nas was signed at Searchlight Production Company. So I mean at that time, yo, to be honest, nobody's checking for me and Nas at first. You know, Search took us, you know, he was shopping our deals, demos, and Russell said me and Nas sound like knockoffs of G-Rap and Kane and Rakim.
Wow.
And
Wow.
you know, the only one I really felt like if they could have made something happen was Clark Kent. Clark Kent was probably the ear to the streets back then for everybody. Like, you know, people don't have a clue like what kind of involvement he had in the J Biggie connection. You know what I'm saying? Even though it's been mentioned, but you know, he's connected to a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? And you know, for me, it's just like whatever, man. Like it is what it is.
So give us your top 5 MCs and why. Who you got in your top 5?
I'm gonna say LL. No, in no kind of order either.
Yeah.
So it's LL, Slick Rick, G-Rap, KRS, Rakim.
There you go.
And I want to add one just for a plus. Chuck D for the conscious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chuck kept us wise, man.
Yeah.
At a young age, he kept us wise, man.
Yeah. What was it like?
But Slick Rick was my dude. Like he taught me.
Storytelling, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just about to say that because one of the dopest stories ever told was when you did Born to Live.
Yeah.
That was a very vivid.
Yeah, well, that was a true story. Like, yeah. But you know, I mean, we grew up on Slick Rick, man. Like, to me, if you listen to Great Adventures, which came out in 1988, that shit don't sound like it came out in 1988.
You're right.
That shit sound like it came out now.
Yeah.
Like he was ahead of his time. To me, just for me, somebody who innovated shit was Rick and Rakim. Like I think if it wasn't for Rick, Rakim, me, Mike Geronimo, Nas, Flush, the list goes on, wouldn't exist.
Yeah.
But then you had that curveball that nobody seen coming. Rick was different from all of them, even though all the artists were different from each other. But Rick was just something a little different.
I'm telling you,
if I had a choice to be any one of them, it would have been him.
It was that Caribbean cadence, man. He had that cadence and that rhythm and that bounce, and you just sang us. You sang along with him. Mona Lisa, well, that's
exactly.
It. You just
yeah,
it was dope.
Exactly. The voices, everything he did, his imagination, like, yo, I mean, the Ruler's Back. If you listen to a record like that, it sounds like what it is. It sounds like some motherfucker sitting on a king's throne and he's rapping and he's telling the story. Like, that's what I get from it as soon as it comes on with the horns. It sounds like, you know, and from what I was told, he used to do shows like that. He used to have the long king robe that went, you know, 10 feet behind him and stuff like that. So, you know, dude he was just ahead of his time.
Yo, that my wife got this for me as a gift. It's
that's a great gift right there, man.
The whole breakdown,
wow, they got a story.
Yeah,
that's dope, son.
Yeah,
we grew up in the
that
Bronx.
dude, he taught me how to dress, man.
Son,
He taught me how to dress. Straight up.
So what's next for OC?
Yo, I'm just getting back in shape. You know, like I said, I moved. I got a new perspective.
Okay.
Even though we in turbulent times, I'm getting back in shape, and like I said, I'm prepping for this last solo album, you know, and I'm gonna make my statement with this last album, man, because I think I'm not even chasing that anymore, but I still feel like people don't credit me as being just an above norm MC, as opposed to just somebody who make records. I tell people all the time, yo, I'm still getting love 23 years, almost 25 years later. That's not something I can ask for. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I look at myself as an elite artist, just like Rakim, just like Slick Rick, Nas, Jay, Big, Raekwon, Ghost, whoever you want to call out. I'm that too. You know what I'm saying? And I just feel like a lot of people, you know, equate greatness to selling a million records or driving around in a phantom, and it's just like, what that got to do with making music? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
you know,
that's what
it ain't no best in me. Like, everybody has their time.
Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier though. That's why I think that we lost in the States, because somehow, some way we got away from artistry and started looking more so at sales. And people equate the sales like, oh, he sold 2 million records, so he better than. But it's like, damn, like, are you really listening to the lyrics? You know, like, somebody could have a hit single that could be catchy and it could be out of here. They could sell 5 million copies. That doesn't mean you're a great artist. That just a record.
You just had a catchy record, yeah.
Yeah, true artists, man. True artists can paint the picture, and a lot of audiences see in his mind where he's going. Just like you said, Slick Rick. When you hear Slick Rick rhyme, you right on board. You right on cadence with him, and he's taking you somewhere. It's a real MC, man. You get people involved, man.
Yep. I'm gonna tell you.
And on top of that, he produced that first album. Like, yo, that album is the epitome of a record that you want to make. You can put that shit on right now, and it keep up with anything.
That's right.
Well, it's funny you said that, because I was just about to say, like, you know, for you to say that you feel like there's still a lot left. Like, you kind of got it out the way with the first album, because Word Life is a classic album. Like, a hip hop purist, a person who really knows hip hop that's listened to Word Life would say, your Word Life is a classic album. You know, so, and there's people that they. You know, they've sold millions and millions of copies of records, but they've never been able to actually say that I got a classic album under my belt. You know,
right?
So, and
I think you can't ask the people, like, I can't ask the people to give me that status, like, and besides that, you have to be around. I mean, at least from how we grew up, y'all know what's up. Like, this shit had to be on the shelf. And it had to have shelf life for at least 10 years before a motherfucker said you had a classic album.
And replay value.
Yeah.
And replay value.
Like, only Built for Cuban Links sound better today than it came out, you know, 20 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it means, you know, something different every time I listen to it. It brings back memories, or it just gives me something different.
Fact.
So I mean, you got like 5 more minutes to kick it with us?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right,
man, where I'm going? We in a pandemic, man.
I will bring you in this conversation because we were talking about this, you know, when you came on, and we were saying, like, what's 3 classic albums and why? And I had posed a question to the guys, and I said to them, don't give the standard classic albums that everybody always gives, because you know everybody.
Biggie,
like,
Jay-Z, and Nas. Stop.
Don't give those. You know, like, I really want to know, like, what's the 3 classic albums for people? My 3 that I say that, to me, Long Live the King was a classic album that still to this day I still listen to Long Live the King. I got
right.
Another one that I got that I think a lot of people slept on. I like Into the Stage, Black Moon, first album.
Hold on, let's stop right there. Let's stop right there. Into the Stage competed with Illmatic All Day to me. That's just how I felt.
Yeah, that shit was a classic album. And
that
then
shit competed with Mobb Deep, all that shit.
Yes, sir.
And then, not to be biased, at first I was gonna go West. So I got two more. Another album that to me was dope that a lot of people didn't realize to me is a classic album is Roscoe's Soul on Ice. I thought that was a dope album too.
I knew you was gonna say that. I knew you was gonna say that.
What made you why? How you know I was gonna say that?
Because when you went West, first thing you think about in the 90s as lyricism is Razzcast.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
What Kent to me, just to me, where he didn't get his flowers in the music business, Kendrick Lamar picked up and took, he's carrying that torch for him. So the thing that they praise Kendrick Lamar for, I always tell people, no disrespect to him. I fucks with Kendrick, but it's been done already. I seen it done. Like Razzcast did it with Soul on Ice. Period. Yeah. He was touted as the second coming as well.
Brother was he's a hell of a lyricist. And then to go south, my sleeper that a lot of people sleep on, but I thought it was a great album. Also, T.I. Trap Music. I thought it was a dope album.
You're right. That was all right. That was cool. T.I. I went to a show in Brooklyn and T.I. he surprised me, man. His set was pretty dope. He said he was all right.
Give me your three.
My three? I'm from the Bronx. It was all BDP, son. Edutainment.
You can't pick those because we from the BX though.
Listen, man, Edutainment was the best album ever made, in my opinion. Then right after that, BDP did the live album, and then Sex and Violence. Those three albums, that's 90, 91, and 92, was the best years to me in hip-hop in my ear because I started to listen to lyrics clearly. KRS-One would just articulate very clearly what he was saying. So now I'm listening to rappers. I'm like, he got something to say. If they got nothing to say, I ain't paying attention, man. There you go, criminal-minded, man.
We got two people in the chat that's saying Bismarck going off.
That was all right, but that was just a song.
No, the whole Bismarck
song.
Where
it was all right. The album has some joints on there. You're right. Bismarck has some shit.
And I believe Kane wrote all of that, so that was technically a Kane record.
Real.
What about you, Zane? What you got?
Well, one of them was Black Moon, Into the Stage. The other one was AZ's first album, Do or Die. And it's so many for the third. I never really had a third. But those were the two that stuck out to me.
All right. Oh, what you got?
I'm gonna go with Untouchables by Scarface.
Okay.
Great Adventures of Slick Rick.
Of course.
And It Takes a Nation of Millions to hold us back.
Public game.
All right, there you go. Yo, I got that post on the other wall too in my house. You already know. Well,
the Public Enemy album taught dudes how to make music, man.
Mm-hmm.
That was heavy. Yeah, that was heavy.
Yeah.
You're right.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't touch on it, but also you had the honor of being on the Brooklyn Dodgers track too.
Right. And Chubb Rock bust me and J. Rue ass that night. I never forget that shit.
Wow.
He came in, he did his thing in like 10 minutes. And me and Rue looked at each other and we was like, yo, we coming back tomorrow. Preem was like, yo, we gotta get this shit done, man. Y'all can't bullshit. Like Chubb came in, literally did his verse. We good. Like, yeah. And broke out. We was like, oh shit.
Just like that. That's crazy.
Just like that.
Damn.
Just like that. And me and Rue laughed and said, yeah.
So
Y'all need a show about that type of shit. Like, it's lyricists that go under the radar that's, you know, that's superior to a lot of motherfuckers who sold records, but just ain't sell records like them.
we actually did talk about
Chubb
that.
is one of them.
Yeah, we actually did talk about that at one point. Because I agree with what you were saying earlier. Like, to me, one of the most underrated MCs also is G-Rap. Like, I think without G-Rap, you know, you have probably no Big Pun. You have, you know, you hear the influence that Nas influenced by G-Rap. There's a lot of people that took G-Rap and ran with it. And G-Rap don't get the credit for it.
Yes, sir.
Right. But I told people too, like,
Eminem. Yeah.
Everybody's trying to say, like, but Emma tell you though, Emma tell you who he fuck with and who he love and who he bit, and we all borrow and bit in our own way just to come up with our style. You know what I'm saying? Right. But G-Rap, people always talking about gangster. His shit was. I was like, yo, his first record was called "It's a Demo." Wasn't no gangster rap shit. That shit was purely lyrics. People in the audience, Cool G Rap is my name. I write rhymes and insert them inside your brain. Like, he was, this was 90, 89?
89, 88, yeah.
When, 88. Yeah.
88
you know, sir. I'm fly and all of that. Like, yo, this dude, he wasn't talking that gangster shit. He was spitting. Like, no gangster talk. That came after the first album.
Yeah. Truly Yours, Road to the Riches, and
that was the second album though. Yeah.
You know who I hear that to me, I think you influenced. I don't know if you ever heard this before, but Mos Def to me. Like, I hear a little bit of Mos
Def?
Yeah, Mos Def.
I hear that too, yeah. I would agree.
I never heard that in my life.
Yeah.
I would agree.
I never heard that. I mean, that's dope, but I never heard that. Word. I mean, I don't know. Maybe because we both from Brooklyn, and some niggas in Queens get mad because I say I'm from Brooklyn. I'm from Brooklyn and I'm from Queens, man. Come on, I'm from New York.
And you fucks with the Bronx. You see that? You's a New Yorker, yo.
And my whole crew is Bronx, Uptown. My whole crew is Uptown niggas.
Yeah. How about that?
Shit, yo. Yeah, there's one MC that I like coming up. I don't know if you're familiar with him, but he reminds me so much of you. His name is Nick Grant. Young guy, son. This kid.
Yeah. He's a problem.
Yes, sir. His rhyme style, his cadence, his subject matter, everything is right on time, yo.
Yeah. And he's smooth as fuck. Like, I shouted him out one day because I said two guys that I you know I've been watching, and this was maybe a few years ago, was Nick Grant and RJ Payne. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yes, sir.
I think they was the second comings to me personally. Yes, like, when you talk some hip hop shit, like, I think Nick come from that cloth of me, Nas, AZ.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? Mike Geronimo. He comes from that cloth, that Jay-Z cloth, like, and he's a smooth dude. I fucks with him.
Yes, sir. It's a nice cat, man. Nice cat.
Well, I want to thank you again, man, for agreeing to come on and do this. I appreciate it. Yo, when you finish up that new album, you got to come back on and talk to us about it. You know, man, I
bro.
Definitely. I'm gonna start just I'm gonna start just leaking putting records out, just throwing records out, because I recorded maybe 100 records, close to 100 records when I did New Dawn and Same Moon, Same Sun. So a lot of shit is just in the back burner. You know what I'm saying? I ain't holding on now. I'm gonna start letting shit go, man. Like,
I let him go. So let
him
fly.
Just yeah. Before this fucking planet blow up or something, I'm gonna just let these shits go.
Yo, God bless you, bro. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your energy.
Bless y'all too, man.
Appreciate you, man. Word is
I
bond,
appreciate it. I appreciate y'all, man. And just give me the word. I'm back on. You know what I'm saying? Like I fucks with y'all.
Appreciate that.
We'll hold you to that, man.
No doubt.
We
We got nothing but a little time on our hands now, so let's do it.
Let's do it, right?
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it.
No doubt, man. I appreciate y'all, man. Let's chop it up again soon.
All right.
Yo, so there you have it. Thank you to everybody for tuning in. You know, tonight, next Friday on our live, we got Cuban Link is going to be joining us.
Terror Squad, bro.
We have a pre-recorded interview also that we did with Ali Vegas, another extraordinary MC that we're gonna be premiering it on Wednesday. So for everybody that's on right now, hit the like button. If you haven't already subscribed to the podcast, make sure you subscribe and tune in. We have lots of material. For folks that are new to watching us, also go back and look at the catalog because we have some wonderful interviews. We had Master Ace, we had General Steele, we had Shaheem the Rugged Child.
A few other people we had on there.
Yeah, we've had a number of people. So, you know, our thing with this is that we want to bring dope MCs in, give them an opportunity to talk about, you know, just life in general, all their different experiences. We talk to them about their music. We talk to them about the current state of affairs things that's going on in the world today. You know, we also talk to them about like their interests outside of music. You know, so again, you know, like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for tuning in this evening. We appreciate it.
Man. Peace, y'all.